care who you are or what you bring to the table. I'm here for violence.
Ref, you suck! Ref, you suck!
They chant "Ref, you suck" a lot to you. How do you handle something like that?
Oh, it's okay. It just goes in through one ear, not the other. So for you fans that chant "Ref, you suck," it's fine. I love you guys too.
You just weren't born with the swag?
Oh no! Something you gotta cultivate. You gotta develop. It's like an RPG, dude. You gotta gain the levels.
So how was the experience training with Gangrel?
Intense.
I really want this. My goal is to go to WWE, and like a lot of people would probably say, "Oh, it's a crazy dream," but that's how dreams happen.
Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we're at CCW at the Unbranded Brewing Company in Hialeah, and I'm joined by the first referee to be interviewed here on the channel, Adrian Paz. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, Tony. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Now, you drove down here from Central Florida.
Yes, my wife and I just moved here from Orlando on December 20th. So it's the first show coming here since the move, and definitely a difference.
Yeah? Why is it important for you to drive 3.5, 4 hours to come here to CCW?
Well, that's an important question. First of all, this is how I figured out CCW was from this very show, Bash of the Brew. I was at the inaugural Bash of the Brew as a front row fan attendant, and ever since then I used to show up at every Bash show, literally every Bash show. I would never miss it. I would be at the front row seat all the time, every month. Started as a fan, and then a couple months in, started training, honing in the craft, everything that should be known about it. And then down the road, I decided to do officiating, and haven't stopped since. My first time reffing was this past September of 2021, actually. So it's insane how time just flies by, right?
It seems, so September of 2021, okay,
yeah.
And we're here in January of 2023.
How time flies.
Right?
So I've been with CCW for almost it's going to be 2.5 years now. So it's been a wild ride, I got to say.
Okay, so you start off as a fan.
Yes.
Okay, and then a lot of people might say, oh, you start off as a fan and you want to become a wrestler, but you wanted to be a referee.
Originally, I wanted to try out as a wrestler, but as time grew on and on and on, they saw me majorly just based on my facial reactions, just based on my stature, my size. They said that down the road I could be a possible referee for TV, maybe, more than likely, with just more practice, more repetitions, and just more confidence, I could reach up that level. And again, I just take it one day at a time and just try to get better, and I've been doing it for a little bit now, and it feels good. It feels natural, especially at this venue where I started. This is my hometown. I grew up just a few blocks away, so it definitely is a soft spot in me. That's why I made the drive here. So definitely first time coming here from Central Florida. It's definitely a great privilege.
Is the wife more excited that you're a referee and not a wrestler?
I think so. That's a good thing. Yeah, she's very excited. I'm not getting thrown around in the ring that much. I'm not getting chopped. I'm not getting dropped on my head. So she loves the fact that I'm in there. What I do loving is my passion. That's my passion ever since I was 5 years old. I remember watching WCW as a kid, watching the NWO, watching Hulkster, watching Sting, watching Flair, Luger, all those guys, DDP. I grew up and I never grew out of it. She's been to a few bash shows as well, and she thinks it's very entertaining. She loves the heels. She likes to boo all the heels and cheer all the faces, but it's, she just gets happy when I'm there. And I personally love officiating. I feel like, I'm at somewhere where I can be good at, and I'm still trying to be good at it, and just time and repetition.
Ref, you suck! Ref, you suck!
Now, speaking of heels, okay,
Yes.
I love you in the ring as a referee, but the fans here at CCW, they kind of get on your case a little bit here. I mean, they chant "Ref, you suck" a lot to you. How do you handle something like that?
Oh, it's okay. It just goes in through one ear, not the other. So for you fans that chant "Ref, you suck," it's fine. I love you guys too. It's fine. But we got to be unbiased. And unfortunately, when those decisions come, fans don't like it. They're biased for a reason. But officials got to be unbiased to all extents and purposes. And if you fans chant it, that's fine. It goes in through one ear, not the other.
Here at a lot of independent shows, you also get "Ref, that was 3. Ref, that was 3," when it's clearly 2.5. How do you balance something like that as well?
No, you just try to block it out. I mean, you obviously want a reaction, but again, it's not about the referee during the match. It's about the two guys in the ring, the babyface and the heel. The refs are important in the match just because they can make a bad match look good, or they can make a good match look bad just based on everything, the other fundamentals of when they're in there. Try to stay out of the way, give them, be in a corner, give them the space they need to work in the mat, and go from there. But, I mean, like I said, try to block everything out. It's always good to get chants and always good to get reactions because that's what you want. You want the fans to be entertained. You want the fans to boo. You want the fans to heckle. You want the fans to cheer. You want all of that. If you can get a reaction, you've done your job.
So it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, as long as you get that reaction.
I mean, I would like for it to be good, but if it's bad, heck, I mean, I'm pretty happy either way. If it's good or bad from the fans, it's okay. As long as I get your attention, that's fine. And as long as you're entertained and happy when you walk out the door, that's what we strive for, is to make the fans go home happy and enjoy it and come again. We always do the shows here every month, and our growing crowds are always big, and they never stop growing. So we're doing something right.
Right. Now, a lot of wrestlers obviously have wrestling influences. Is there a referee that might be an influence to you?
I have several. My brother and I grew up at WCW, so Tommy Young. Ric Flair loves Tommy Young.
That's old school WCW there.
Yeah, no, my brother.
Okay.
My older brother. My brother and I are 6 years apart, so when he does his counts, I try to replicate my counts just like Tommy Young's or Nick Patrick's in a way. I try to get facial reactions from Earl Hebner, Mike Chioda. Mike Chioda is one of my favorites from WWE. But from WCW, I would say Nick Patrick and Tommy Young are just the greatest. And I try to study more Tommy Young because he just sits in a corner, does the facial expressions, tries not to get in the way of much during the action. So I try to pay attention to that as much as I can and try to be better from it. And like I said, plenty of space to be good, and these shows are just helping me become better. And with practice and repetition, like I said, you can be the best that way you can be. So I just try to learn every bit, and those guys are perfect examples. Bill Fonzie, Alfonso. I mean, having Fonzie here and Bruce Owens, that's just, I mean, the opportunities are endless. So I always try to ask questions specifically to Bruce. Bruce always lets me know about what to do, and like a 5-minute conversation about what I could do to be better can turn into a half-hour conversation about, Adrian, you need to be at this spot. Adrian, always keep an eye on this. Those things are very important because they've been doing it Fonzie's been doing it for 40 years. Bruce has been doing it for 50. These guys have been here in Florida since the 70s. So for me, aspiring to be a good referee, I go to those guys for help, and they've been more than supportive and more than wonderful. So I love those guys. Yeah,
no, I grew up watching Florida Championship Wrestling, and most people don't even remember Bill Alfonso or even know Bill Alfonso was a referee before he was with RVD and ECW. Is there any key advice, the best advice that they've given you?
Specifically from Bruce Owens, I remember my first reffing match, the first match I refereed that I told you from September 2021 at the Bash. I remember it was a 6-man tag. I believe it was with Mosh and Mayhem and Jake Sterling from Canada. And it was the Bus and the English against Bull Anderson and Pistol Black, Team Bullseye. That was a 6-man tag. So that was being thrown into the fire, so to speak, but it's good to get your feet wet somehow. So after I did that match, I remember Bruce was in the locker room, and I went up to Bruce. First and foremost, I went up to Bruce, and he just told me, Adrian, draw a horseshoe for me. So he did this. He just drew the horseshoe like this, and he's like, I want you to stand in that horseshoe and stay in there. And when it's time to count, you go in there and make the count. Make it simple as possible. And always focus on hard cam. Never turn your backs on the hard cam, because if your back is turned on the hard cam, they edit those things out on TV. So those are things that are way ahead that I try to do better at. So I try to do better of being out of the way. So I always stay in the corner. If you can notice it, I always stay in the corners. And as far as hard cams, I always remind the guys, hey, when the match is over, focus on hard cam, because hard cam is very important for TV, for camera work, everything. So I've been getting a little bit better at it, just focusing on the hard cam and whatnot.
Okay, now I have a buddy of mine that also has a YouTube channel at my job. It's different from wrestling, and we talk about, who we're interviewing, this and that. Yeah. I said, you know what? I booked my first referee this week. He doesn't know much about wrestling. He knows about Goldberg and a couple of those guys,
okay, then,
right? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So he goes, oh, a referee? Well, the guy that does nothing. What would you say to somebody that thinks the referees do nothing?
Well, the referees are definitely involved in the matches, to say so. We just don't stand in the corner and just watch until someone puts a count in or someone is getting disqualified. We're there during an action. If there's a lockup in the corner, you have to be in the middle to break it up. Like in boxing, you have to break a guy's up. If the guys are getting tied up, you have to break it up, right? Wrestling, if the guys are locking up in the corner, you got to break it up. If they're locking up with the ropes and they're not letting go, you got to break it up. You're always in the ring at any specific moment. And you have to be aware if someone is hurt. You got to communicate with them if they're okay, and if they're not okay, you got to go with what your gut feeling. You got to call for medics. You got to do what you can. So referees are not just guys that just stay in the corner or gals that just stay in the corner and just watch. We literally do everything in that ring and make sure everyone is okay after the match is over. Always check on them, help them to the back, and make sure everything goes smoothly and sailing. So that's what we strive to do every day, is to make sure the matches are okay, the guys are safe, and the girls are safe after the match is over, and just get the feedback.
Where do you want to go as far as career-wise as a referee?
Well, my wife and I, like I said, we just moved to Central Florida, and Central Florida, especially Orlando, is a huge site for many opportunities and independence. And like I said, WWE, AEW is all over the place. Right now, I'm just taking it with stride. I'm doing it as a hobby that I love doing. And with experience like this and exposure like this, who knows what it will take me, and only God knows. So my dream would be to go in one of those promotions as an official, just be backstage, helping out with the boys, the gals, doing anything I can. But I would like to go up there, those big promotions, and, just be the best I can be that I'm doing here, and hopefully be better everywhere I go. So right now, I'm just taking a day at a time, and if I get inquiries or if I get, notoriety somewhere, that's what my goal is. And I'm just going to take it from there, and just God will decide. But right now, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. It's a great release for me. It's something I love since I was 5 years old, so it's a great escape for all the personal problems and all the challenges that we face everyday life. This is a great little distraction for me and for anybody that loves wrestling. I enjoy it. So we'll see where it takes me, but long term I would like to go up to those promotions, but we'll see. Only God knows.
Right? Just take it day by day, enjoy the ride, right?
No, of course. You got to enjoy the ride. You can't be up there uptight. You can't be like a rubber band. You just got to be loosey-goosey. Enjoy the time you have with your colleagues, your peers, and make friends with the fans. I have like I said, I started here as a fan, and when the fans see me up there, they always greet me, say hi, give me the biggest hugs ever, and say, Adrian, we're going to miss you. Or last month, they knew that I was moving up there. So a few of the fans came up to me at the end of the show, and they embraced me and told me, we're going to miss you so much. Like, those chants were just for you. And because, I have some fans that are friends of mine, and it's always cool to have back and forth with them, just to talk with them about the show. And we strive to make sure that we have a great show every single month we're here at Unbranded Brewing Company. We want to make sure that they come out with smiles on their faces and coming back again, because that's what we want. We want them to come back again, spread the word, get as many fans as we can to pack this house. So it's definitely humbling.
The house is packed here every Saturday. I mean, we're going on 2 years now, CCW doing, I believe this is Bashes to Brew 24, if I'm not mistaken, here tonight.
We've done so many bashes. Our first bash show was back in February of 2021, and from where I was on the front row, it definitely has grown so much with the resources, logistics, the staff that we have, just the athletes that we have right here, right now, and all the legends like Gangrel, Bill Fonzie, Alfonso, Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster is here helping us out with anything that we need. Anything we need, he helps us out with advice. Bruce Owens is here, Fonzie is here. Like I said, Kevin Sullivan, Gangrel. Those guys are just just so much knowledge and so much advice that they can give us and help us grow. And, I look up to those guys every day, and I want to be like I said, as a referee, I want to be as good as I can get, and hopefully I can be as good as I can get down the road, and we'll see where it takes me. But like I said, no pressure, no stress. I just do it because I love it, and that's the main goal. But we've come a long way here. We've definitely come a long way here, and we're just getting started.
A dream match that you would love to referee?
Oh, man. You're putting me on the spot here.
That's what I do.
Well, there's so many, but you're talking about current stars right now?
It's your dream match, not mine. Go for
man.
it.
I would probably want to say Bret the Hitman Hart and Kurt Angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just basic, it could be an Iron Man match. It could be just a regular 20-minute time limit match, or Bryan Danielson against Kurt Angle or something like that. Just Kurt Angle. I grew up with Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
So he's a machine, man.
Right.
Like, that guy can go, and he can go, and he can go. And just seeing him, I never get bored of a Kurt Angle match. I always watch Kurt Angle matches, and they never get boring to me. I love it. And I was big into ROH as well as a kid. So Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe's matches too, but for me, my dream would be Bret the Hitman Hart and Kurt Angle, or anything involving Kurt Angle is my favorite, because Kurt Angle really captivated me as a kid, just his humor, but his wrestling ability is just amazing. I love Kurt Angle. And Bret the Hitman Hart, he was a little bit, I grew up right at the peak kind of tail end of his career, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see much of Bret Hart, but with Kurt Angle, I grew up with Kurt Angle practically, and that would be good. Or another Ric Flair match when his prime against Ricky Steamboat. That would have been cool. Like I said, it's just clashing of times. But, Bret Hart and Kurt Angle is probably everyone's favorite dream match to do. But for me to referee, that would be a huge match. And,
That would be an amazing match to watch. You, the referee. Is there anything else we should know? Because I know you got to get ready for the show here tonight.
No, nothing. All I got to say to you guys is I hope you come to one of our shows every first Saturday of the month here at Unbranded Brewing Company. CCW does these shows every first Saturday of the month here. Like I said, the show starts at 8. Crowd comes in at 7. You won't want to miss it. We have beer, we have food, we have barbecue. Fans are awesome. We have food vendors here. And like I said, I think we have beer here, but I'm pretty sure we have beer here.
Oh, we definitely have beer here. There's a lot of drinking going on in the crowd here.
Yeah, a lot of drinking, a lot of heckling, but it's all in fun. The kids come with their parents. They have a great time, and like I said, just keep on coming and hope you guys spread the word, and we hope you guys have a good time tonight.
Adrian, where can people look you up at?
You can look me up on YouTube, on CCW. You can look at my socials at Pazzarelli. At Facebook, my whole full name, Adrian Paz. And on Instagram, Pazzarelli28. And on YouTube, I'm on many of the YouTube CCW channels. There's one match that I would like to recommend.
Of course.
That's the Fuego del Sol match versus Alfonso Martinez back in April, where I took that kick to the corner. I think that would be infamous. So that's my infamous match. So they can look me up on that match and just see for themselves how much a ref is into that match. So that's probably one of those matches that I really hold myself high on. And it's in this venue. So they can look me up on that match. Just go to our CCW YouTube channel and just type in Alfonso Martinez versus Fuego del Sol and you'll see it. And it's definitely worth a match to watch because those guys are just monsters. They're machines. And it's definitely a pleasure working that match.
Yeah, that match was pure fire. Well, Adrian, you're such a nice guy. And it's going to be very hard for me to chant "Ref, you suck" tonight at the crowd. But I promise I will chant at you that you suck while you're in the crowd.
It's no problem
It's
at all.
okay?
No problem
Okay. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for joining me here on Toned In Entertainment. So, guys, if you like interviews like this with our first referee here on the channel and not the last, Adrian Paz, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.